default. Mic check. How about now? Is there audio? I'm sure there's audio now, right? Yeah, good. Okay. I guess I did an OBS update and it decided to reset my mic output to default. So, anyway, as I was saying, this probably is not going to be a very positive live stream. It's really difficult to not be blackpilled, and it has nothing to do with any politician. It has nothing to do with any of the current administration's policies. It has everything to do with voters, with the justifications that I'm seeing all over the internet as to why they're either going to vote a certain way or not vote at all. It's incredibly depressing, and it makes no sense. I'll give you an example. I'm seeing this a lot, and I'm sure a lot of you are too, is that there's no difference between the right and the left. There's no difference, guys. It's all the same. Absolutely all the same. No difference whatsoever. Yet if you look at a giant blue city and compare that to a large red city, there are clearly differences. Clearly. Yet here we are. People will tell you that there's no difference. They will make that argument. And it's not even necessarily the politicians. It is the people. The people that have the left, progressive left, radical left, DSA ideologies versus what I would consider to be just sort of normal people on the right. Just your average, everyday American. There is a gigantic difference. And we all know that politics is downstream from culture. So everything that I'm seeing right now, like what's happening in New York, for me, this should be a giant wake-up call for people, and they're just whatever about it. No big deal. Let's take a look. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, I don't even know how to say her name. Aber, Kawas, however you say it. I'm sure some of you have seen this already. I want you to really listen to the words that she's saying
and Islamophobia have, and finding that, the system of capitalism and racism, and white supremacy, etc., and Islamophobia have all been used, to colonize lands, right, to take resources from other people. And so this is like a long trajectory, and we're just seeing the manifestations of that continuation, right, with 9/11. And so a lot of times when people are asking us to respond about, attack, right, if you look back, historically, right, a lot of us come from lands that were colonized, lands where wars are being waged, right, and a lot of times because of U.S. policy or the policies in Europe. And
so a lot of times they're migrating from lands that there's war or they're being colonized because of United States policies. And they come to the United States. So you go to the colonizer's country. That's where you migrate to? For what? Why? Because you want to have our way of life? Why would you be coming here? Because they cannot beat the empire militarily. They can't do it. They have to infiltrate and beat it from the inside. And everybody's just cool with this. We got a bunch of dorks over on the right, allegedly on the right. They're not even right wing. Most of these people are libertarian tards. But we have a bunch of these people on the right. They voted for Trump, so I'm just referring to them as on the right. Not even caring about this, thinking this is just some psyop that the government is doing in order to create division and keep the people divided. Because if the people unite, not sure how we unite with this shit like this, but if the people unite, then somehow we'll take down the government. This is what they've come up with. This is their rationale in their heads. Unite with what? Where would we find common ground with somebody like this? The only common ground that people are finding right here, granted, they're doing the whole socialist thing. Hey, we're going to give you free shit. Just vote for me. We're going to make the prices come down. Don't worry about it. We're going to take rich people's money and make sure that you get some of it. So they're selling them on that. But the other thing is the those people, the anti-star people. That's the common ground. Okay, hear me out. Let's say that we decide to unite under this one banner of anti-star people. Which side, which ideology is now going to submit the rest of their ideology in order for that unification to happen? Which one? Because I'm not going to. I don't think anybody else is going to. I wouldn't imagine that they'll just be like, yeah, you know what? As long as you don't like the star people and we can, I don't even know what, take power away from the star people, eliminate them completely. As long as we can do that, don't worry. You can have your capitalistic Western culture and we'll be just fine. Yeah, that's not going to happen. What are we uniting with? Where's the unification? The arguments I'm seeing online are just, they're insane. They make no sense. There is a huge ideological difference between the people that vote left wing, far left, and the people that vote right. It is not even close. This has gotten so bad. This crazy conspiracy stuff has become so bad. A certain group of people could absolutely 100% start doing terrible things to Americans on American soil, and nobody would believe that they did it. There would be a gigantic portion of the population now that would assume that it's some type of false flag operation by the star people. We're giving these people have developed essentially a license to do whatever they want and completely get away with it. So the people that are just, star people bad, you don't think you guys are being propagandized? You don't think you're being brainwashed? We could legitimately have Islamic terrorist attacks in this country, and those people would never believe it. They would automatically assume the star people did it, that it's a false flag because the star people want us to go back to war. And I'm not even saying that the star people necessarily wouldn't do that. But we are in such a screwed up situation right now that it would just be more of the same. Just look at the Charlie Kirk assassination stuff. Look at the conspiracies, the back and forth. Nobody's convincing anybody from the other side. And it's not happening. It's not happening. It's the same people that are in the same chats and the same live streams versus on this side. It's the same thing. Nobody's coming, nobody's going, nobody's changing their minds. Nobody's looking at anything objectively anymore. They've chosen a side. It's become extremely tribal, and they don't even care. They don't care. It doesn't matter who's right. All that matters is that their person is saying the thing that they want to hear. That's where we're at. And this is exactly what we see in politics. Doesn't matter. Left versus right, there's no difference. There's no difference. It's all one big psyop to keep us divided. I don't know how anybody looks at the current political climate or even the social climate in this country right now and thinks, yeah, no, this is going to be okay. The Democrats are even starting to fracture, like worse than they have. Before they would have little spits or whatever, little spats, and they would kind of, whatever momentum they might have had, they'd end up screwing it up, right? We saw this happen in the previous election with Kamala and all that crap. It is getting so bad. Like the Dems are now starting to look like what we've been dealing with the woke right, I guess you would say, for the last 9-10 months. I'm going to pull up a clip from James Carville. Listen to what James Carville says. Like, this is insane. I didn't think I'd ever hear James Carville talk like this. This is the dude who's all, we need to pack the courts and MAGA sucks. And
quote right here, I'll get to it. Mr. Valier, I'm in the New York Times reported, and I have the quote right here, I'll get to it. She is against passed off all her views. She has attacked interracial relationships in the American flag. Lady, I ain't in the same party as you. I'm sorry. I just not. And I actually do think it's time for Democrats to talk the S word, schism. I really do. Everybody's always said, no, we're coalition, we're big tent. And there's just some shit that I can't be in the same tent with. And we talk about what Madame was 3 for 3 last night in Manhattan. They call it the Commie Corridor. Fine. Jason Crow's service pack, vote bets, 10 for 11. You wouldn't know Jason Crow exists. Okay.
No, you wouldn't.
You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know Abdel Sandberg exists. You wouldn't know. I want to be very specific. I understand the free press for being here because if they nominated David Duke or something like that, we'd be the same way. I understand all that. To the extent I understand the Times, because they are the New York Times, so they have to cover, they are the hometown newspaper. But the idea that we must neglect everything else that's going on, all of these other primaries, all the recruits Jason has, all huge, phenomenal successes we've had, and declare that the party is now under the control of the Democratic Socialists of New York City is insane. But understand, these people do not like Democrats. Not only are they not Democrats, they wish Democrats poorly. So I just cannot. Maybe there's a way that you can say to, I guess Mandami is the leader of it, is, you insist that, try to insist that the people that run under your banner run as a Democratic Socialist and don't use the Democratic Party as your guideline, and let's negotiate the terms of a schism here. Maybe we can part under some kind of advantageous terms for both of us. But I'm done. I'm not in that fucking political party. I am totally comfortable in a political party that spends time questioning the policies of the government of Israel. In fact, I'm enthusiastic about that. I don't want to be in a political party that denies the right of the state of Israel to exist. That's just not. I just can't do that. I'm sorry. It's just not doable.
You let the crazies in. What are you talking about, James Carville? You let the crazies in with your tarred progressive bullcrap because of your desire and need for power. You've let the crazies in, and now they're running the asylum. And now you want out. No, I'm not in that. That's too crazy for me. No thanks. Something needs to change. Something has to change up big time on both sides of this aisle. What are the GOP doing? What are we doing right now? What are we doing to combat any of this? Something has to change, or we're just going to end up getting more and more of it. Because let's be real, it's not just the voters' fault, right? They're stupid. They can't help it. Okay. But when they look at what is happening in our country, right? When you look at prices continuing to go up, people can't afford to just be comfortable. More of that is going to give us more of this crazy stuff that's happening out in New York, especially when it comes to Gen Z and below. They are going to vote desperately for crazy shit. Something has to change up. Big part of the problem is Democrats. They're the ones who pandered to these people, gave them essentially attention and power, and now we've got this fringe percentage gaining a lot of control. Something has to change. I don't know what. But I do know that the solution is to not look at this as, oh, the left and the right are the same, so it doesn't even matter. Ha ha ha. I'm just not going to vote because that's not going to help anything. All you're going to do is give power to this, to the crazy. How have we gotten to a point? This is where it feels like on the right. It feels like now we're at a point where we're just going to vote to make sure that the Dems don't have power. We have no leverage. The voters have no leverage whatsoever. We are basically at the mercy of hoping that, well, as long as this party doesn't get in, it won't be as bad as it could be. That's not leverage. How do you leverage that? Republicans, there's certain areas, right? Like Senate, the House, depending on the state, there's certain areas they're just going to win no matter what. They're not going to flip seats. There's only a few states really where you're going to see seats flipping. So there's no leverage there. But I know that the solution is to not give up. I just don't know what it looks like. Do we end up with potentially just more political parties? Is that the solution? I don't know how that works. For example, let's say that we have a big split on the right. Okay, so now you have half of that voter base is voting Republican and the other half decides that they're going to put their cards in with Libertarian. And now on the Democrat side, you have Democrat, and then you have Democrat Socialists of America. Guess what happens? Majority of people are still, the majority of the country is very center. So you're still going to either end up with a Democrat or Republican. You're not going to get the DSA person in. You're not going to get the Libertarian person in. There's just not going to be enough votes for that. They're just going to draw away almost equally probably from each party. So it's either going to be a Democrat or Republican. So more parties isn't the answer. Not to mention, the biggest hang up with all of these people is how corrupt the system is. So corrupt. All of our politicians are bought and paid for by the star people or whoever you want to say they're bought and paid for. Very well could be. Not going to argue too much against that. They all have donors. They all get pressured by their donors. It's part of the game we have. It's part of the system. What makes them think that the DSA or the Libertarian Party, if they end up gaining traction and getting control, that they're not going to just end up being corrupted the same exact way by the same exact people? It's so stupid. It's like their solutions make no sense. I was even having a conversation with some people yesterday. Some people I would not consider them to be on my side, but they're also not a Democrat, right? And they actually came up with the argument that we need to start our own thing and completely pull out of this system. This is an adult. This is a grown adult that said this to me. What? What do you mean? Are you a child? You literally have a 10-year-old vision here. A vision of a 10-year-old. You want to start a Chaz? What are we talking about? I don't know how anybody feels positive with the midterms going on either side, Democrat or Republican. I have no idea how anybody has a positive outlook right now. Let me go to some of these comments. Wild and Wired Media. I know a dude that was running for Congress against Jasmine Crockett. He said the GOP told him he had to raise $300,000 before they would even take him seriously. Makes sense. You have to be able to raise funds. Absolutely. Another big argument. Oh, it's the donor class. It's the billionaires. They're the real problem. Okay. I guess you're going to try to have to put your money where your mouth is then. If the donor class is the problem, the lobbying class, they have all this money. They create super PACs and donate all this money to be able to lobby politicians to get them to pass whatever agenda that they want. Well, I guess the American people need to create some type of American Persons Act PAC, and we need to all start donating so we can try to compete. They have no solutions whatsoever. The solution is just don't vote and somehow that's going to fix it. That's going to fix it. We're going to run a third-party candidate. They kind of tried that, guys. RFK Jr., arguably probably, I'd say the most popular third-party candidate to run in recent memory. Look how that turned out. Look how that turned out. One side propositioned him, offered him a spot in the cabinet for their endorsement. That's more than likely what you will see with our two-party system if somebody does gain traction on a third party, because they're probably not going to win. So they have to look at it as, well, might not necessarily win the presidency, but at least I could still be somewhat effective because this party has basically reached their hand across the aisle and said, come in, we'll make sure you have a spot, endorse me, let's take your voters on this side. We already saw this happen. That's more than likely what would play out if they get a popular third-party candidate. Or that third-party candidate is just going to say, no, you know what, I'm going to run it. I can't stand either one of these parties. And then they're just going to pull votes from more than likely the right. I can't imagine there's going to be a Democrat one that pulls many votes from the Democrats. But I suppose it could happen. More than likely not. Somebody asked about JD Vance in the chat. I don't even know. I have no idea what to think at this point, to be honest with you. Vance or Rubio. My guess is that if Vance and Rubio had to have a primary right now to vote on who was going to get the GOP nomination, my guess is that Rubio would probably win that nomination. Just based off of some elections like with Thomas Massey, MTG basically quitting because there's no way that she was going to end up winning. And people backing MTG blows my mind. She's so retarded. She's so retarded. And they're like, we love MTG. That makes no sense to me. Here's Nick Fuentes, okay? And he's basically calling out Alex Jones for essentially supporting Tucker Carlson.
His chief of staff
or coming out now after what he's done against Trump and everything and supporting Vance. Him and Tucker supporting Vance.
The big news is that JD Vance, Tucker Carlson, in an interview with Alex Jones, clarified that, yes, of course, he will be supporting JD Vance in 2028. Big surprise. So we'll talk all about that. We'll get into that as well. Alex Jones is right there with them. And I love Alex, and he's my guy, and he's the #1 OG. But it's like, bro, we can't keep falling for it. How do we keep falling for it? Every year, every cycle. Well, you hear what Trump's been saying lately? Sounds pretty good. Oh, you hear what Trump's been saying? No, these sounds great. I think it's going to be a golden age. No, really, I think it'll actually be different this time. Wait a second, they're bombing Iran? What is going on? I can't believe this turn of events. Wait a second, did you hear what JD Vance just said? Sounds pretty good. I think this time it's going to be different. It's really going to be a golden age. Wait, you're telling me that his chief of staff is a Tikva Fund fellow and a Jew? And David Sachs is going to be his chief of staff in the White House? Who could have predicted that? It's just so it's so tiresome. Sometimes we just gotta realize we're being played for suckers here.
Getting to Nick Fuentes, I mentioned this earlier. Nick on Monday after Tucker says he's leaving the Republican Party. Well, that doesn't mean you're not ever going to support a candidate here or there. So that's kind of a straw man. But he did predict that Tucker would come out for Vance. Well, I didn't know he'd done that. I had Tucker on.
Right.
Yes, and I said, well, what about Vance? He's way better on the war, and he's not a neocon like Rubio. Rubio's very well spoken, but I'm really worried about him. And he said, no, I'm still going to support Vance. And not just Fuentes, but a bunch of the leftist people said, look at the hypocrite Tucker. Oh, now he's back with Republicans. No, he's not. And just because I've been mad at Trump for over a year and saying he can be 25th Amendmented, next time he says Iran as a culture will cease to exist, they will never return as a people. There'll be one giant glowing crater. Those are statements.
Yes.
I said if he keeps doing that 25th Amendment, that's genocide talk.
Right.
Now he backed off of that. The point is that engaging it is a good thing. And look, Fuentes can say he's not going to vote Republican, he's not going to vote Democrat. Sit it out. The Democrats, I still think, are decidedly just as bad. The Republicans are overtly controlled by Israel more than the Democrats. But the Democrats in reality are as well. I really think you should look at each candidate and know who they are and support America First Republicans and then not support people like Lindsey Graham. What do you think, Rex?
I think it's time to demand more.
Duh. Your solution, Alex, is to look at each of the candidates individually and decide which one best represents your ideals and then vote for them. But no kidding. You don't say. Unbelievable. What happens if they don't win? What happens if the guy you want, Alex, just doesn't get elected? Then what do you do? Then what? Go on the internet and whine and complain and threaten that you're not going to support the Republican Party anymore just to wait for the next Republican that comes around that you think represents your ideals and then try to get them, like, it's kind of how the system works. This is how this has worked this whole time. That's not changing anything. That's participating in the current system the way it's structured. So this is so stupid. I hear people doing this all of the time. Like, get out of our tent. Get out of our camp. You don't belong here. I'm so glad that you're leaving the Republican Party. I don't even know what that means. Are they Republican candidates and they've decided to no longer be a Republican candidate? They're going to, for example, I live in a state where you don't register. You don't register to vote. You just show up and vote. Okay? I am not a registered anything, but I will more than likely vote Republican down ballot. I mean, unless they're terrible, then I might vote for an independent. I'm also in a red state, like a super red state. So my vote doesn't really carry much weight. Like, it's going red no matter what. But the point that I'm making is I don't understand what this means. Is it just like you're signaling to your audience that I'm not a Republican anymore. I can't support the Republican Party. So you're still going to vote for Republicans though that you want to have put in office? Then I guess that makes you a fancy independent now? I feel like most people are independent. Like, really. They go in and they independently choose who they want to vote for. I'm so, I feel like these are. I don't understand. Makes no sense to me. None whatsoever. I've seen some people say what's happening in the DSA is a good thing because they think it's going to completely destroy the Democrat Party and that they're going to collapse and fall apart and it's not going to be popular at all. The DSA idea is it's just not going to be popular in the United States. I'm not convinced of that. I'm not convinced of that at all. It might not be super popular right now, but there's a certain voting demographic that's eventually going to, pass on. And then there's the next in line. And as we go down the line, the future of this country is terrifying with the way things are going.
From our political class, I think us on the right, we've traditionally done that. I mean, you look at Trump coming to power in 2016, that was basically a referendum on the Iraq War, right? So I think in that same spirit now in 2026, we have to come forward and say, who is going to be our champion?
I don't think Donald Trump was a referendum on the Iraq War. I think Donald Trump was a reaction to 8 years of Obama, to be honest with you. That and Donald, I mean, base Trump, like early on, those debates, it was a breath of fresh air to have a non-politician going on a debate stage and just speaking the truth. Like, that was nice. I don't even, like, they want a referendum on the Iraq War. I don't think so. I think it was 8 years of Obama policy, and people were just fed up. And they're like, no, anybody else, don't care. Oh, Donald Trump? Oh, I like, Trump? Yeah, I'm voting for that guy.
Who is going to represent us? More importantly than that, who can we trust? And I think it's about people that have made the hard decisions to do things that are very uncomfortable. I take Joe Kent at that. I take Thomas Massey at that. I take MTG at that. And you know what? I'm harshly critical of Vance, and I do not support him. But him coming out against the war, him being especially being used as the envoy, as the messenger, as the man in negotiations.
And being blamed.
And being blamed. Well, the thing is, like, he's taking enormous political risk by doing that. And I think that's proof in the pudding that he wants that job. You can see Rubio up there, mum's the word with Rubio. He doesn't move his mouth. He's using his giant ears to detect alien life on other planets, right? You can look at.
So this is the same guy who just not that long ago was talking about we need a third party and yada yada yada, and now he's just talking about who the next Republican is going to be. It's just it really is, guys. It's nothing but a political grift. It's just a political talking head grift. They read the audience. What's the audience doing? Oh, I should complain about this today. People seem really upset about this. So I'm going to be the mouthpiece to speak for these people. And because of that, they're going to love me for it and buy my products and send me money. They don't have any solutions at all. None whatsoever. Third party. Okay, that's not a solution. It's not going to work. Never happened in the history of the country. At least not in modernity anyway. Or you guys know what I'm saying. But a third party is not an answer. They have no solutions. It's just a bunch of fast talk, yada, yada, yada. And in the meantime, while they're doing all this fast talk and getting people all worked up over the star people, there's real bad policies being elected in places like New York. Real bad things did you guys know? I had no idea. Texas is the fastest growing state for Islam in the country. Texas, fastest growing state for Islam. That's a problem. That's a real problem. I'm sorry, but Islam is not, it does not belong in the United States. One of it, here I'm going to be called a bigot, all that. I don't care. One of the worst things in the Constitution was freedom of religion. Our founding fathers really screwed up on that one. Maybe one thing to be okay that you can practice your own religion. Maybe. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not even sold on that anymore. But I don't think that there should be any of that religion holding power whatsoever in this country. Seems like a conflict of interest. A pretty big conflict of interest. So I would be willing to make that deal. How about the only religion you can be, the only nationality you can be is American. You can't be any other. No, none. No other citizenship. You're just American. And you can't be star person, and you can't be a hijab person. Can't do it. That's where I'm at. I kind of just want to deport all these people. Just get them out of here. Get them out of here. They do not have this country's best interests at heart. There are literally tons and tons of clips and videos of these people talking about tearing down the empire. And the only way to do that is from the inside, to destroy the empire. It makes no sense that somebody who is so upset about their homelands being war-torn and being colonized would migrate to the country that's doing that run for office because she cares about that country. That is retarded. And people are just voting them in because they don't like the star people and they think they're going to get free shit. No politician has ever blackpilled me as much as these stupid voters have. Period. Period. And it's only getting worse. I don't think people are getting any smarter. In fact, I would say that there's evidence that they're not getting any smarter. And that evidence is the people that are being elected.
Him, he's angry because he wants war, he wants death, he's very upset. You can look at JD Vance, whether it's a profit motive or whether it's real, I do think he wants the war.
Well, that's it. The Israel lobby has already said we're done with Trump and Vance. Our new golden boy is the Ferengi ambassador.
Right. And he wants to play dictator in South America, and they'll let him do that.
Yeah, the star people like hippies. A lot of the people right now that are pretending to be on the right and talking about all of the policies from the right and how bad Trump is, they are hippies. They are libertarian hippies pretending to be right-wing or conservatives. They're not in any way, shape, or form. I've been talking to them. Continue freedom. I've been on Raymond Ibrahim kick lately. I probably murdered that last name. And he lays this out pretty clearly. All right. Lays what out? How cooked we are? Because people are dumb. Thanks for clarifying that for people in the chat, S-Files. I'm super nervous about YouTube pulling some stuff talking about any groups of people right now, because I feel like things are going to start heating up here a little bit with midterms. And I wouldn't put anything past YouTube. Duke Tomlinson, what are your thoughts on Tulsi? I have a feeling she's going to run in 2028. I don't know. I don't have a clue. Straight up, I don't like any of them. But that I'm in a place to where it doesn't really matter. I don't think it matters much. I'm pretty black-pilled, right? I'm pretty black-pilled that we, the people, end up really with Trump, maybe kind of, because he's a populist, right? So he does like to do things that are popular, at least with his base. But for me, guys, I am seriously black-pilled to the point where I'm just narrowing this down to two different things. On one side, here's what I know is going to happen. Okay? They're going to push weird trans ideology stuff, and they're going to have open borders. And on the other side, they're not, and the borders are going to be closed. That's what I'm voting on. Anything above that is a bonus. Okay? I do not have high expectations whatsoever, but I know what I don't want in this country. And that's any more progressive leftism policies taking foothold. I'm done. No more. Or we are just slowly going. Texas, man. Texas is the fastest growing state for Islam. No. No more. I think Tucker has globalists behind him. He's always been a DC mainliner, always hated Trump. I don't even care what these talking heads are saying anymore, because it flip-flops depending on Tucker he just called Trump a bitch. But then he's all about JD Vance. That's Trump's vice president. What are you talking about? So it doesn't make any sense at all. It's just for clicks, just for views. I might have a different opinion if Tucker decides that he's going to throw his name in the hat and actually run for office and actually put his money where his mouth is, but he's not going to do that. That would be stupid. that would be really dumb for Tucker Carlson to do. He's built a nice little nest egg. He's built a nice little audience. He's comfortable. He's fine. He's not going to risk destroying all that, right? Because if Tucker got elected, let's just say he ran and he actually gets the nomination and he gets elected, he would have to deliver on everything that he says and everything that people expect. And he wouldn't be able to, and it would destroy his brand almost overnight. Tucker's not going to risk that, guys. Not going to happen. So it's hard for me to listen to anybody, any of these big name talking heads right now, and believe a word that's coming out of their mouth, because the opinion is just going to change depending on what happens next week. I mean, here we are. Like, legitimately, we have Alex and his son. His son did a debate with Andrew Wilson, I don't even know, a month ago, 2 months ago, something like that, to where Trump's bad, everything's bad, we need a third party, this isn't going to work, to, yeah, JD Vance seems all right. JD Vance hasn't changed. JD Vance is the same dude he was 2 months ago as he was a week ago, as he was yesterday. Same guy. We've heard from people like Megyn Kelly and Joe Kent for months about JD Vance not having like as much, I don't know, what word would you use? Favor for Israel as somebody like Donald Trump does. Like, we've known this. We've heard this. However, Nick Fuentes would completely disagree. So who's right? Who's wrong? Who's telling the truth? Who's not?
Yeah, so it's not a lesser of two evils. It's survival here.
I know that I believe that the person wearing the head covering believes what they're saying. For sure. And I'm not. No.
We're going to vote Gavin Newsom. We're going to vote. I think Mondami's running for president. No, I'm not voting for Mondami. I'm not voting for Newsom. And people say, oh, well, you're just going to get screwed by the Republicans. Well, the Republicans are going to screw me with some lubrication, not with a cactus.
I think what's important to realize.
Best thing Alex Jones has said for months. For months. Like, I'm going to clip that and spread that. That is the best, most accurate thing that Alex Jones has said for months. Well, at least I know the Republicans are going to lube it up. The left is going to ram it home with a cactus. Thank you, Alex. Thank you. That's basically what I've been saying this entire time. And I'm dealing with tards on the internet saying that there's no difference between the left and the right. Lube versus cactus is a huge difference, I would think. I'm assuming. I don't know for a fact. I'm just guessing here. All right. That is a big, big difference. Where is this Alex Jones been? He, like, run with all of your craziness. I understand you need to entertain your audience, but where has that just, like, common denominator, like, common sense, like, that is base level common sense. Where has that been with Alex Jones?
Realize is that Trump isn't running in 2028. We're going to have Rubio, Vance.
I agree. We need to move on from Trump.
Yeah,
That's why I think
time.
I'm not glad he went sideways, but it's a healthy side effect of the going sideways that we can demystify this guy.
Think about how the 2024 Democratic Party was shattered. Think about how their coalition was broken, and think about how they have been able to rebuild somewhat because of the failures of this administration.
And they've come back pure commie.
Yeah, and we have to demand more, because the thing is like, it's really a douchebag behavior to come out to your electorate and say, hey, we didn't do.
I mean, yeah, grossing out. I like mine better personally, but I'll take it. Like, if we get an Alex Jones saying things like this on a more constant basis, I'll take it. 100%. Because it's his tard audience that is doing this whole, there's no difference between the left and the right. It's those morons.
Any of the stuff you voted for. We didn't.
And stupid people like Tim Dillon.
Didn't do no new wars, didn't do low inflation, didn't bring American jobs back, didn't do mass deportations. But hey, you still have to vote for us because we're better than the Democrats.
Also, did you guys see, and I don't know if this could be wrong, but it sounds correct. The World Cup, I think it's Egypt versus Iran. Like, they're basically saying that they don't want any type of pride stuff advertised during their match or something along those lines. How is it that the left, Democrats, people of LGBTQ are voting for those people to have power in office. They're just falling for it. Like, no, they can't do that here. They won't do that here. They're voting for these people. And then like part of me, like a little part of me is a little torn, to be honest with you, when it comes to the head covering people. It's like, I mean, that's kind of based. it's kind of like, I guess maybe a worst case scenario, we watch them destroy themselves because they're stupid. It's kind of a tough spot, really, if you think about it. It's kind of a tough spot to be in. I don't want to live under Islamic rule, but there would be some silver linings to that. Now, granted, Christians are in trouble too, but I feel like they wouldn't go first. I think we would have a little time to at least plot and plan a little bit. That's probably not a very good joke. What do you mean? My analogy was awesome. It was very, very non-offensive.
Well, if that's true, it shows your coalition is weak. What are we? Are we?
Yeah, but Rex, the political class, the neocon rhinos, they want you to take the ball and go home. We got a 96% let me finish. Shut down on people coming across the border. We got a lot of internal deportations. Then the riots got so bad that Trump calculated to fully pull back. And so, okay, so I know what Fuentes says, and I get the point. I don't agree with it overall. You let the Democrats win the midterms. Generally, that gives the next Republican a better shot.
Right.
But then Fuentes is saying he's not going to be for Vance. Vance is clearly, out of the Republican field, the only guy that's half decent. Now, I would support RFK Jr. as a Republican or Tulsi Gabbard over Vance.
Well, I think it's the RFK Jr. model. What happened with RFK Jr.? He runs as a Democrat. They're not going to let him win, so he drops out, runs as an independent, and then 1 out of 10 people in the country say, hey, I'm going to vote for RFK Jr.
To get back to that person's question about, I forget who it was that asked about what my thoughts are on Tulsi and if she's going to run. She might. But I don't think America is going to elect a female president. Maybe ever, to be honest with you. I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see it. In fact, I've pretty much become sold on the whole idea that women probably shouldn't be voting. We should probably do something about that. Not that anything ever will be done, but I'm really black-pilled on that too. Or red-pilled, I guess, depending on how you look at it.
I think we can carry that forward, and in the same way we had a referendum on the Iraq War.
And I really don't think they should be holding any political office.
Yeah, I mean, I think RFK or Tulsi running as a third party will pull from Republicans, not Democrats.
Well, I think they should run as a Republican, of course, and hopefully win as a Republican.
Gritsnitch, IRGC is scrambling. They're a shell of what they were. I think they're done. I doubt it. Those people are like cockroaches, man. They are resilient. And I like Iran, Israel, kind of fatigued about all of that, to be honest with you. Like, we have some serious problems here in the United States that really need attention. And everybody's just I don't know. It's really hard at this point for me to even care, even bother caring about what's going on thousands of miles away. When I'm looking at what's happening here, going, well, this really affects me. This is going to absolutely affect my day-to-day life. I'm going to be able to see the results of this potential outcome. Does that make sense? Like, I don't mean to sound like dispassionate, but I'm just kind of burnt out. It's the same arguments every day. It's the same back and forth every day. Nothing is like, as soon as he talked about, and I'm not even sure how this deal with Iran is going to go, but the moment that he even talked about it, like immediately there are definitely people who really are coming across as far more pro-Israel than pro-America, which doesn't sit well with me. And and all of a sudden, they're immediately attacking Trump. So much so that they're going all the way back to his first term and bringing up the fact that Donald Trump is the one that gave us Fauci. You can't trust Donald Trump. Like, really? You're going back to that, dude? All because what? Because Trump understands that going into the midterms, that this war it's not popular. It isn't. And they're having the midterms are not going to be fun, I don't think. Give up on politics, focus on personal development, health, long-term financial planning, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I don't disagree with that. All of that. Don't give up on politics. Lower your expectations on politics. If you need to, just use my analogy. You're voting on open borders and trans ideology versus closed borders and UFC fights at the White House. That's what you're voting on. Pick whichever one of those you want, and anything above that is a bonus. Go on with your life. As far as federal goes, here's another problem. Check this out. I don't know if you guys pay attention. I'm hoping you pay attention to your local politics, but I want to give you an example. Where I live, we just had some city commission seats up for election and mayor. Okay. Kind of a big deal. Under 30% of the eligible voting block, or the under 30% of eligible voters showed up to vote for mayor. That's insane. And I guarantee you 90% of that 70% that didn't show up to vote in local politics is probably online, talking and complaining about federal government and who needs to be elected in the federal government. So guys, if you are not paying attention to your local politics, do that. You should definitely be doing that. I could not believe I don't know if people are just that demoralized with politics that they've literally just giving up or what is going on. But to have under 30% of eligible voters show up to vote in local politics is scary to me. I don't even know how that, isn't there something in the Constitution where there needs to be at least 50% or something of eligible voters participating in elections in order for the elections to count? I feel like if you have 70% of the people eligible to vote not showing up to vote, they're sort of voting that they don't, I do not accept to be governed anymore. Wasn't there something in the Constitution about that? Donnie Mac 420, you have to be a 3-issue voter for sure. In a free country that's as diverse as we are, you will never please more than half the country if you're lucky. No, you generally, most presidents sort of, if we're talking about presidential here, most president, don't they sort of fluctuate between that 30 to 40% approval rating? I mean, every once in a while, right away, maybe they get 50. But no, I would assume the average approval rating for presidents, at least for recent history, is probably somewhere in that 30-something%. What's Congress at? Are they still even in double digits anymore for approval? No, that's why I said people need to really lower their expectations. Is that Alex Jones Jr.? I forget. I actually, it's his kid. I don't think he's a junior. I forget what his name is.
But if they're up there and Rubio and Vance are able to play games and keep them from getting that nomination, they should run as independent.
Yeah, sure. Well, all I'm saying is, at the end of the day, third-party candidates act like parliamentary spoilers in our two-party system. Our system has problems, but it's the best system there is compared to the parliamentary manipulations you see everywhere, where groups with 15% approval rating stay in power through parliamentary coalitions.
I won't argue with
Look
that.
at Netanyahu. Look at Keir Starmer in Labour. Look how they keep AfD out in Germany. I mean, the parliaments are a joke, okay?
Finally, Like I've been calling for these people to start mixing in some positive things when they're dogging on our politics. Like mix in some positive stuff, so you're not just completely demoralizing people to the point to where they're going, there's no difference between the left and the right. Like should have been doing this crap months ago, but I'm glad to see Alex starting to kind of do that now. Somewhat. I hope he continues it, but holy crap.
They were the first system after Kings, and then we got our system, and I'm sure something better can come. When somebody explains it to me, that's great. And I'm not disagreeing with you overall.
Sure.
I'm just saying it's easy to say, screw everybody, I'm done, and then just sit there and bitch. They want me off the air because I've always gone in to take over the Republican Party and to put our ideology of 1776 in there because ideology wins. We just can't oppose.
Yes, Rex. Thank you. Car 59. I'm just going to call you Car 59. Congress. What's going on, Audrey? Congress can't tell their ass from their brain. Yeah, no. They sure can't. What's the deal? Are we getting that? Is Jared still in here? Hey, is that SAVE Act going to get passed? Didn't I just see something to where like I don't know if it was Poly Market or what, but it shot up quite a bit that might actually get passed. Maybe. Hopefully.
The globalists, we have to then have an ideology that is better than theirs, that sells. You can't just be against a product. You've got to have a product to run against it. You can't just say I'm against that race car driver and then not put your own NASCAR in on the. You can't just be playing football and then not have your 11-person team. Since we mentioned Nick Fuentes, here's Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, he doesn't talk like this, but now what if he became Mark Levin? We switched their brains. He's like, oh, Alex, I love Alex, and we love you too, Nick, but what are you doing sucking the wiener at JD Vance? Well, are you for Rubio? Or, no, you're just done with them all. You're going to get conned by him again? I didn't get conned. I thought Trump did better than I thought the first 6 months. Then I've been on his ass. But, I mean, would a JD Vance be better than Rubio? Would he be better than Mondami?
I'm not convinced. All right. I mean, thanks for keeping it real. But it's looking better than it was, no? At least?
Answer my question, Nikki. But let's go ahead and go to Nikki Fuentes. Here it is.
The big news is that JD Vance, Tucker Carlson, in an interview with Alex Jones, clarified that yes.
Yes, I 100% agree, Donnie Mac. It is going to be a shit show when they start getting elected more and more, because they're like, just go back 20 years. 20 years, the idea of a hijab female in Congress, like that would have set the country on fire. It would have been like, no chance in hell. Just 20 years. What does 20 years from now look like? Interesting statistic. Maybe you guys can find something more accurate. I did this because I was just curious. I pulled up what the Islam population was, the Muslim population in 2000. And I found an estimate. They gave me estimates that it was somewhere between 1.9 to 4.5 million. Okay, so like 1.9 to 4.5. Then I looked up what the Muslim population in the United States is in 2026. The estimate is 4 to 4.5 million. What? Somebody can explain that to me? I would be greatly appreciated. I would super appreciate that. How is it that in 2000, the estimated Muslim population was 1.9 to 4.5 in that range? 2026, it's 4 to 4.5 million. No. Somebody's lying about the Muslim population in the United States, because it is definitely higher, much higher than it was in 2000.
Of course, he will be supporting JD Vance in 2028. Big surprise. So we'll talk all about that. We'll get into that as well. Alex Jones is right there with them. And I love Alex, and he's my guy, and he's the number one OG. But it's like, bro, we can't keep falling for it. How do we keep falling for it? Every year, every cycle. Well, you hear what Trump's been saying lately? Sounds pretty good. Oh, you hear what Trump's been saying? No, these sounds great. I think it's going to be a golden age. No, really, I think it'll actually be different this time. Wait a second, they're bombing Iran? What is going on? I can't believe this turn.
I'm not even really sure, to be honest with you, what to make of the whole Iran situation. Like, I have an idea, or I have my thoughts. I don't know if they're accurate or not. I have no idea. But it seems to me that here's just what I'm thinking. Trump has had a pretty hard and firm stance that Iran cannot have nuclear weapons, right? And I think that there was some truth to the fact that Trump may have seen this the way Gavin McInnes was explaining it, may have seen it as an opportunity to essentially control the Strait of Hormuz and make America like super unfuckwithable. So he took a shot. But I also think that there were definitely people from certain intelligence agencies telling him and convincing him how easy and how quick it would be. And I've said this in the past, Trump doesn't like war. That was obvious. He doesn't like thousands and thousands of dead people. And he also knows it's not going to look good. So I think he decided to appease a certain group while also think that he might be able to take advantage of the situation and make it good for the United States. And I think that once he got past a certain point, he started to see that maybe the intel was wrong, or it just wasn't going to go how they convinced him that it probably would go. And now he's just trying to get out of it, trying to pull out. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. I could be way off. But that's kind of how I'm reading it based on what I think I know of Donald Trump. Because, like, realistically, we could just destroy Iran. We really could. And if we can't, well, then I think somebody's been lying about how strong our military is. Because it sure seems like we could just go in there and completely wipe them out if we wanted to. But I don't think Trump had any intentions of doing that. I think Trump used a lot of hyperbole to bluff, to try to use threats and things of that nature to convince them to deal or surrender or whatever the case was. And they just called his bluff. That's what I think mainly happened, or that's what it would appear like to me. Is he kept bluffing and they just kind of kept calling his bluff. And it makes sense because it would appear that those people are just willing to end it all just to defy. So I don't know how you win that. I don't know how you negotiate with that. And there are people who would say, well, that we knew that from the jump. We knew that from the jump. Maybe they were right. I don't know. Audrey, if we leave Iran alone for another 20 years and Russia and China help and advance them in drone warfare, weapons, and AI, then it's going to get a lot worse and a lot harder to stop them. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I don't know what the answer to that is. What is the solution? What does victory look like? I don't know what victory looks like. I have no idea. I haven't really heard anybody else explain to me what victory looks like either. And for me, that's a problem. Like, I would think that they would have like a full-on planned out agenda and what they are looking to specifically accomplish. And the Trump administration was never very clear on the messaging of the goal to begin with. I think we can all be pretty honest and agree to that point. Okay, so Eclipse Truth says the IRGC totally wiped out and the Persian people in charge of their own country, in my opinion. Do the Persian... Well, what percentage of the Persian people want control of their own country, and what are they willing to sacrifice to get it? Because in order for that to occur, that's a lot of dead people. Like a lot. And I don't know that that's going to be as easy as it sounds. And how much do we sacrifice ourselves in this country in order to try to get to that end goal? Like how much pain are you willing to endure? Are you willing to endure the same amount of pain as it would seem the Iranians are? I doubt it. So how do you win? Do you see what I'm saying? I just don't know that we are in the same mental state or have the same desire for victory as the opponent does. It would seem. I agree, Audrey. Yes, we could stop sending them money. 100%. Yeah, we could stop. But are we really gonna? The military-industrial complex would highly disagree with you. It's got to fund proxies. We got to have conflict. We got to sell weapons to somebody. We got to keep that machine churning. Got to keep that part of the economy rolling. World War II, we basically have become a war economy. Got to keep it churning or the lights get turned off. Donnie Mac, there were official goals on the website, but we all know how Trump gets diarrhea of the mouth and adds and subtract things daily by tweets. Yeah. Yeah, no, like I said, the messaging was never clear at all. No more IRGC would be nice. Yeah, no more war would be great. No more killing would be fantastic. No more Muslims in the United States would be cool. I don't know how realistic any of those premises are. Car 59, Persians make up about 61% of the country, which equates to roughly 56 million. So they outnumber them. What are they doing? What are they doing? Didn't they kind of have their shot already? Like when it first kicked off, Trump, didn't he go on TV and say, take your country back, now's the opportunity to do it? And there's just nothing happened? Will you all be mad if if Trump sends troops on the ground? Because you all need to realize there are no easy way about this, and you all can't be damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. That's a great point. It really is. I know I don't think Trump ever had intentions of doing a full scale invasion and putting troops on the ground. I don't think that was ever in his mind. I could be wrong. I'm just speculating. But based on how this has gone and the choices that he's made, I think Trump had a line, and his line definitely stopped, I would assume, a certain timeline and also troops on the ground. I don't know if that was ever going to be a thing, and I don't think it will be. But even if he put troops on the ground, right? Like, I would vocalize how not supportive I am of it. I don't think it would change much, and I'm also not going to vote Democrat or for head covering people in because of it. So I don't personally. I guess I would just not feel very good about it at the end of the day. That's about it, realistically, which it sounds like is most of these people's positions, even though they talk a really big game. The fact of the matter is that they just don't feel good about things. But, like Alex's, I'm still going to support JD Vance, blah, 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 whoever. I'm not going to vote for Mamdani. So it's kind of the same. But I didn't think Trump was ever going to put boots on the ground to begin with. Trump just doesn't like, you know what I mean? He doesn't like war. There hasn't been anything that Trump has done either in his first term or up until this point, that would suggest to me that he's a war hawk. He's a big talker. I think he says crazy shit, but there's a method to the madness, and it's poker. He's playing poker with him. They called his bluff, and now he's not even sure what it seems like, telling Israel to calm down. Hey, chill out. We need to get this. This is not going to go good. We're going to end up in a stupid quagmire here, and no, stop. We need to figure out a way out of this peacefully. Waffles, bacon, peace through strength. Right. Well, peace through bullshit is more accurate, I think. Peace through bluff, peace through flex. Like, you know what I mean? Because if you have the strength, but you never intend on using it, and your enemy knows that, you really don't have much. You don't have much leverage, really. And I think they did. I think they called Trump's bluff. Which is fine. Like I don't want to just eliminate an entire country of people. You know what I mean? I would prefer if people stopped dying to war. Peace through Tomahawk missiles. Mama Owlbear, Persians aren't head covering people. They wore normal clothes until the 70s. Yeah. I mean, sure. Do they wear normal clothes now, or are they oppressed and they have to follow certain laws and rules, or bad things happen? Yeah, this is why I don't want to vote those people in over here at all. I don't want them to have any power in this country. It's insane to me that this is happening. All because of, they said nice things, and if they don't like to start people, and they're going to give us free things and make rent affordable. Yeah, okay. Sure thing. Has Mom Donnie done did they have free buses yet? Is that a thing? Has New York gotten free buses? Has he done anything that he said he was going to do? Audrey Unfiltered, war is a lot different than boots on the ground now. A lot is advanced, especially with AI and drone warfare to a certain extent, but boots on the ground are still when you're talking the level of accomplishment that a lot of people are referring to in Iran, I don't think you get that done with any amount of technology. I think that requires boots on the ground. I don't see how you would get that done otherwise. Like you would have to occupy. I don't know what else is in this clip. I don't know if it's more just Nick Fuentes making fun of Alex Jones because he doesn't like JD Vance and thinks JD Vance is just going to be more of the same as Trump. I mean, I don't know that I can tell you this much. Nick Fuentes, okay? If it's JD Vance or a Democrat, if Nick Fuentes is correct and JD Vance is just kind of more Trump, like I'm not real heartbroken that I have to vote for JD Vance, to be honest with you. I think JD Vance, as far as war goes, I think he's kind of on the same page as far as along with Trump. I think he probably doesn't like war. I'm not saying he's not willing to necessarily do it, but I think he doesn't like it, and I like that idea of having a president that just doesn't like war. But he'll do it if he has to, but doesn't like it, doesn't want to. No, Eclipse Truth. No, you're not crazy at all. Everyone keeps saying that they don't want boots on the ground, and I get it, but what do you think soldiers train for, sign up for, or am I crazy? No, you're not crazy at all. That's absolutely what they sign up for sure. For the most, I mean, not all of them. I mean, they understand what they're signing up for, but a lot of them sign up for things like, benefits, college tuition, things of that nature, right? But there's definitely a good portion of meatheads that sign up for that exact purpose. I'm talking about what happens with boots on the ground, how much of a commitment that now becomes, and what that looks like when you have a country that's, what are we, $39 trillion in debt and ticking and climbing, how much more money that prints, that we have to print to make that happen, what inflation looks like. Like that's more my concern necessarily than it is the troops. I mean, the troops are, you know, I don't want any American soldiers to die, obviously, but they signed up. They get it. But I'm just more of the my concern is the ramifications of that. And does the victory outweigh the pain? Like, is it worth it? What's that, because if you look at, I mean, we basically lost with the war on terror. We really didn't win anything. But even if we had won, I would consider that to be a Pyrrhic victory. Right? The outcome was not worth the sacrifice. Duke Tomlinson, Israel won't listen to Rubio. I don't think Israel's going to listen to anybody. I don't think they're going to listen to anybody. It is what it is. I don't think Iran's going to listen to anybody either. Donnie Mac, U.S. government going to have to ask Elon for a small loan. Yeah, I feel like we have so many problems here at home that are not good at all. And everybody is just so hyper focused on star people and the hood people country. Like, hold on, guys. What are we doing here? You guys paying attention here? It's not looking good here. And inflation sucks. I would really prefer to not have more inflation. I would like them to not print more and more money and continue to raise the debt ceiling.
Of events.
Finish this clip up.
Wait a second. Did you hear what JD Vance just said? Sounds pretty good. I think this time it's going to be.
Yes, it's a mess, but there's the Abraham Accords. The Middle East is sick of the, well, like maybe they should do something about it. I don't think that I think they can handle it, right? Do they really need our help? I think Trump's whole purpose over there is to impact things over here. There's more character limit than that. You could have expounded. You're going to need to do a live and break that down for me, Jared. You can't just come in talking like that and expect my dumb ass to be able to put together what it is you're talking about. I am not smart enough for that.
Different. It's really going to be a golden age. Wait, you're telling me that his chief of staff is a Tikva Fund fellow and a Jew? And David Sachs is going to be his chief of staff in the White House? Who could have predicted that? It's just so it's so tiresome. Sometimes we just gotta realize we're being played for suckers here. So,
okay, so in fairness to Nick, he's not overall completely wrong. Nick did call it here before the election that he would go to war with Iran. He didn't do it the first time. I thought Trump would do better, but I knew it was a threat, and I said that, and I agreed, because I knew the Israel lobby was even stronger this time.
These America First people talk about Israel more than America, and they want voters to be. Listen, here, Israel definitely has influence. They absolutely have influence in our government, for sure. I don't think anybody would deny that, right? I was talking to somebody earlier today, and I was asking them, what do you think that they do to gain that influence? Like, where do you think that comes from? What do you think it is that they're able to do that gains this influence with the United States? And they say money. And then lobbying. They're buying our politicians. Go look at the top 5 countries who have foreign lobby, who have lobbied the most over the last 5 years. Go look at the top 5 foreign countries that have done that. You can include AIPAC funding as well and compare that with Israel's funding. Israel's not even on the top 5. And they're not even close. Not even close. The Bahamas are on the top 5. Bermuda, trying to recall from memory here. Qatar, I think Qatar was number 5. And Saudi Arabia was number 2 with 90 something million in lobbying. Israel, AIPAC, they're 4 to 5 million. So it can't be the money. They're not lobbying with enough money to have that much power and influence. So it has to be something else. Well, is it Christian Zionism? Maybe. But that much power and influence off of Christian Zionism? I don't know about that. What's the country? What are we at? 40-something% in this country now identify as Christian? And they're not all Christian Zionists. So what is it? And how is it that Saudi, who spends $90 million something in lobbying the United States, do they not? If they're comparing that to Israel and AIPAC's 4 or 6 million or whatever it is, are we sure that Saudi doesn't have some crazy control over our government as well? So I don't know. I would be curious if anybody has an answer as to how Israel seems to have so much influence in this country. What are they doing to garner that? How are they accomplishing it? Because it can't be money. There's other countries that are spending way more money to lobby the United States government and don't seem to have as much control as these people think the star people have. So how are they doing it? It's magic. It is magic. Yeah. Yeah. I agree, Audrey. Meanwhile, we have legal terrorist in D.C. lobbying Congress. Yeah. Yep. And it's also crazy to me how it seems that even though, maybe, I don't know. I suppose the Israel people could absolutely make an argument that progressive leftism continues to be a force to reckon with in this country and continues to grow and become more popular because of Israel. I suppose they could, but I don't, it doesn't seem like it's kind of blowing up in their face a little bit, isn't it? With New York, if that's the trajectory, it didn't work. So I don't know. I'm not saying that they don't have influence because they absolutely have influence. I just don't. Looking at things, I don't know if I'm convinced that clearly Donald Trump isn't his puppet. Because if he was, what's happening right now would not be happening. China, South Korea. Yeah, China, but China, I don't believe made the top 5, at least not the data that I found. But they're up there. They're above Israel. Qatar, I believe, was number 5. I don't remember who number 1 was. Wasn't China, but Saudis were 2. Yeah, the AIPAC lobby just doesn't. It really doesn't spend as much money as I think people think when you compare it to other United States lobby organizations and foreign lobbies. It's not even close. Abbott has received, course of his career, received over 13 million from pro-Islam groups, people. I'm assuming, are you talking about Texas, Governor Abbott? Is there another Abbott? Yeah, Texas is a problem. Does Israel really have that much influence Or is that as realistic as their APAC talking points? I mean, I'm not sure how much influence they necessarily have or how like, I don't think that they control. Does that make sense? I think they try. I think they for sure try. But the same way that every other major power player on this planet tries to have influence and control over another government of a different country. Like, I don't think it's any different with Israel. It just seems, whatever the case is, the United States and Israel have formed this sort of partnership ally. I understand the argument that it's strategic to be an ally with Israel because of the location in the Middle East. That's gotta have something to do with the military industrial complex, if not everything to do with the military industrial complex. I don't know what other benefit we get. I mean, maybe you could make the religious argument, but Audrey Unfiltered, we shouldn't negotiate with terrorists. Whatever happened to that? It just comes down to what price are you willing to pay to hold on to that. That's it. Really, that's really what it comes down to. And it would appear to me that Trump looked at what the potential price was going to be, and he did some Trump math and has made the decision that, nah, it's not worth it. Yes, Catholic charities help many illegals. Don't get me started on Catholics. Don't get me started on those Roman Catholics. That's funny. Fun history tip. A lot of Roman Catholics you'll hear complaining about Israel and about the Jews, even though their church has been completely Judaized. Something I learned the other day, was not aware of. I believe it was in the Vatican II. Basically, they have been told that they are not allowed to convert Jews. Well, that seems weird. It seems weird. Why is that off limits? Yeah, we're not doing theology, guys. Just relax. Just calm down. It's just a little tidbit I picked up. Thought it was interesting. Lutherans got over 100 million from Fed grants to smuggle illegals. Yeah, don't get me started on Lutherans either. Don't get me started on Lutherans either. Audrey Unfiltered. Not my life, that's for sure. I don't want to be back. I don't know if you could put that on YouTube, but that's what happened to Matt Maupin. He was from my hometown. His dad started the Yellow Ribbon Foundation.
The Democrats,
right, let's finish this clip.
So weak. Trump didn't know what he was doing before, kind of went in on his own. Israel back groups kind of came in to give him the lay of the land and be his guide, to Lewis and Clark, and tried to end up becoming the boss. But I wasn't naive about all this. I was concerned the whole time, and I've been saying, let's get in there and get Trump to course correct and get off of Israel's control. That's not me being reconned by Trump. That's me in there battling to get him back on track. And when we do that, it at least moves the needle sometimes completely back. So, Nick, that's a misrepresentation. Now, saying again that I would rather have a JD Vance over a Marco Rubio, I mean, because there's no Democrat.
Israel doesn't have as much influence as people think. It's just a bunch of propaganda. Russia, China, and the hooded people hate them and spend the money for the hate. Yeah. Yeah, everybody hates them. They really do. Everybody does. And just to play a little devil's advocate here, I feel like if you knew that everybody hated you, like maybe you would at least try a little bit to not make them hate you as much. What hold on. We're talking about Israel, right? Not like the Jewish people. Like we're talking about the state of Israel, the government of Israel kind of thing. Cuz I'm talking about Israel, like the state, the government, not the Jewish people. Everybody, I think, hates the state of Israel. Yes. Yeah. I don't think they have very many allies, if any, and they're I would say that they're probably not handling Donald Trump's decisions very well either. Like the way that they're sort of coming at Trump and Vance, probably not their best move. I think Vance made a pretty good point when he said that. Like, you guys probably shouldn't be attacking Trump. He's really the only ally you have left. Duke Tomlinson, Trump will be impeached after. Yeah. If Dems win midterms, yeah, of course he's going to get impeached. I have no doubts about that at all. None whatsoever.
Candidate I would even vote for. I understand your thought process. Punish them. I have a different thought process of get what I can get and then lobby more and more and get better candidates in the future. So it's really an overall a straw man. Now, I'm not mad at Nick. I'm not saying he's wrong. I get his perspective, but we're not naive. We're not being suckered again. That's not what's happening here.
Hi, folks. Doc Bigley here. And today we're going to get to know come under the belly. While frog number 2 has
Okay, that clip's over. Jeez. I wonder if Gritsnitch is behind here a little bit. Putting troops on the ground hasn't worked. You take them out and leaves a vacuum. Trump is avoiding that. The Iranian people are going to have to take over themselves. Israel said they'd help. I mean, I don't think it would have gone well if we put troops on the ground there. And I don't think that the Iranian people are going to be able to succeed in that. Car 59. I grew up Catholic, went to all-girl Catholic high school. Well, that's okay. Not everybody's perfect. Just kidding. Eclipse truth. I can think of a lot worse countries. Yeah, I can too. Trump's MOU proves he isn't controlled by the Jews. They are pissed, and he says, suck it up. Clearly acting independently. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh, Trump's controlled by Israel. I don't think so. I think Trump likes Israel. I think Trump, for the most part, likes Netanyahu. I think Trump wanted to help Israel. And I think they told him some things, and as this has gone on, Trump has found out that maybe they stretched the truth a little bit. And that it wasn't going how they said it would go. And he's just like, no. Okay, we're done. This isn't working. We need a way out now. And I'm sure they looked at like actual polls, like how popular the war was. And it really wasn't that popular. Like that can't be surprising. Like it might have been popular amongst like MAGA. But as the country as a whole, with midterms coming up, I guarantee you is not popular. And it makes sense. They're electing socialist anti-star people in New York right now with head coverings. Like, we have a different voter base than we did even just 10 years ago. Completely different people with really stupid ideas that now get to vote. Because we decided that universal suffrage was a good idea and everybody should, if you're 18, you should just be able to vote. That's it. You don't need to have any skin in the game. You can just vote now. Yeah. See, I think there's one. Oh, that was nice. Oh, listen to this. No, we're not even going to bother with Gavin Newsom's gaslighting dumbass. Oh yeah, here's one of them. If you're still arguing over the left versus right bullshit, you're a victim of the obvious government CIA propaganda plot. Obvious. Continue Freedom. MOU is crap. It probably is. Beggars can't really be choosers. I really don't think we have much leverage. So if that's what you mean, it doesn't really surprise me. Okay, yeah. So side note, I think the MOU is crap, but hard to, yeah. No, and that's why I also really believe, or I don't believe, I just think that I'm probably relatively close to what actually was going on and that Trump was bluffing and they called his bluff. And he's going to do whatever he can to just get out of it because we really don't have leverage because Trump is not going to go full scale, boots on the ground invasion and wipe them out. He might have been threatening that he was going to do all of that, but he didn't mean it. And here we are because of it. So I don't know if you think he was just trying to appease Israel because he just is friendly with Israel. He's just been, that's how Trump has always been. You know what I mean? But it would appear to me that Trump had a line and no, we're not crossing the line. But I know that there's a ton of people that are really not happy with Trump right now that were just defending him when he was saying all of the bad things he was going to do to Iran if they didn't give us what we wanted. And I'm not a real big fan of those people either, to be honest. I feel like they're almost as bad as the woke right. I rule 25-30. I never pretend to know what Trump's going to do. I like to try. I like to try to think what's going on. What makes sense, what doesn't, logically. Just trying to use logical reasoning. No. Audrey, I don't think that... I get what you're saying. We're retarded if we believe in any way Iran will abide by any sort of plea deal. They're whatever. They do not play by geopolitics at all. They lie to manipulate. Right. I don't disagree. Don't disagree at all. I don't disagree at all. I think it's a lose-lose scenario for the United States. S-Files, I'm hoping it's just the tool to say, look, we tried. I think that's exactly what it is. I think that's exactly what it is. Now, what this leads to down the road in the future, I have no idea. No clue. Could be bad. Could be bad. Is it worse than than the alternative? I don't know. Tough to say. I do know with a $39 trillion debt and a full-scale invasion with boots on the ground and a crazy war with a country filled with people that are just willing to lay it all on the line just to defy, that inflation would suck. Duke Tomlinson, why you got to bring up old shit, dude? You know how much hate I caught for that? You just popping it in the, is that clown fax me still an X? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't believe so, but like I have no hard feelings at all. That's just not, I just don't want to be associated with him. That's all. He can do whatever he wants. I really don't care. I even, Gary had Ryan, I forget his last name, Morrow on last night. And even Ryan Morrow was like, man, you know how easy it would be to just like do back to Candace what she's doing to other people and just like make things up. And like, even then in the chat, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. I'm not trying to get away from bullshit, not be part of a creation of it. So it's not just, you know what I mean? It's just there's just a line that I have. Like speculation is one thing, getting something wrong is one thing, but like intentionally trying to do something that you know is incorrect for clicks and views. Like, I don't want anything to do with it. Oh, I want to see where this was. Who said this? Duke, no, it's all good. All good. I'm not sure who you're talking about here, but the fact that you bring this point up makes me want to expound on it. They're okay playing the long game. That's another thing with Islam in this country is they understand it's a long game. You can find clips of this all over the internet where they are talking about destroying the empire from the inside and that it's a long, difficult process. We are seeing this play out. We are seeing it happen in real time. Just as I said 20 years ago, the idea of a hijab-wearing woman in Congress getting elected, spouting the things that this woman was saying, would have set the country on fire. And now we have a couple of them going into Congress. What does 20 years from now look like if we continue on this same trajectory? It is a long game, and they know it. And they are playing it really well right now. So I said we need deportations, big time. The left is going to lose. The left is going to lose out to them. This is going to happen. They open the door. They let the loonies in. The loonies are going to take over. The fact that you have James Carville saying what he said is that's crazy. That's crazy. Like, James Carville is like ride or die blue no matter who, doesn't matter. Even James Carville's like, hey, wait a minute. Hey, hold on a second here. Like, no, dude, you let him in. You let him in, bro. Deal with your dumbass shit. Deal with it. What are you going to do? Lose. That's what you're going to do. No, I think the Democrat Party, as we know it, is on the verge of being cooked. They are. I can't believe that is happening. That, like, Mamdani, that should have been a wake-up call. And it's just, it's gonna, who knew? All you got to do to win elections is just promise free shit. That's all you got to do. Say the star people Republicans right now need to just go on social media and say, star people bad. We're going to give you all free shit. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. Just come out and be like, you know what? You all were right. We apologize. Star people bad, free shit. Let's get all the votes. Let's get all the votes. And then let's pack the courts, okay? And then we need to pass laws that we need to amend the Constitution immediately and get rid of this freedom of religion stuff. That's got to go. There's got to be one religion in this country, and it's Christianity only, and that's it. Okay? Then we need to take away women's right to vote. We need to make sure and pass a law that they cannot serve in Congress. Okay? They get no elected positions. All right? I think we'll be on a good track if we can get all that done. And deport to get everybody out, gone. I don't care where you take them. Go home. Go away. Whatever country your ancestors came from, whether that was your parents or their grandparents before, or however far down the line you go. Like, I'm real close to saying just some dumb, really funny, crazy, stupid stuff, but I'm not, because I don't actually mean it. You jest, but I agree mostly. We need radical change. Like, we need a redo, because this experiment is failing really badly. It took centuries for Syria to become Muslims after being fully Christian beforehand. Yeah. Yes. I'm going to butcher this, but somebody said it. I forget who it was, but it was something along the lines of like talking to atheist people or like, you know, secular people or whatever, that you you cannot be religious. You can choose to not participate in religion. But wherever there is an absence of one, it won't be absent for long. You will eventually be ruled by one religion or another. So pick your poison carefully. I butchered that. They said it way better than I did, but that was basically the gist of it. And we're seeing it. We are seeing it. The left is not going to be okay with a majority power of Muslim. They're just not. There's no way. And the right isn't going to be either. Christians definitely aren't going to want that. Eclipse Truth. No, you're good. I'm actually going to end it here. Going to end it here in the next minute or so. I just wanted to hop on quick. I haven't. So, the oldest came home. He's on leave. He goes back on the 5th. So we got 2 weeks with him, which is why I haven't really been doing much content. It's just been busy. Plus he kind of like, I'm in downstairs in my house and he's sort of like has taken over the entire downstairs while he's here, which is totally fine. And I'm not going to be like, get out of here. I need to make a YouTube video. You know what I mean? So if you guys were wondering where I've been or what I've been doing or why I'm not putting out any content, that's mostly why. Great Snitch. There are several groups in Iran, IRGC, the president, and I forget who else. Trump is dealing with the president. I think he's more moderate. They've been captive to the IRGC, but want to deal. Yeah, I'm sure it's just like any other country, any other government, right? They got people who are sort of on board. They're, where was he? He is in Hawaii. But yeah, totally get your point, Chris Snitch. It's just like any other government. It's just like our government can't agree 100% on anything ever. I mean, unless it's some crazy, stupid spending bill. They seem to have no problems getting those through right away. But for the most part, that's another great argument you really could make. Everybody is religious, even the ones that think they're not, yet somehow they seem to believe in certain things that end up having, you know, dogmas and rituals. I hear you. Science, yeah, no, it's all the same. But the point being is that realistically, it doesn't matter throughout history. Eventually, you're going to be ruled by a religion. You should be really careful which one you choose to be ruled by. And I wouldn't be voting for that one. Bad. They're all shit, except for Christianity, right? No theological evidence for any of them other than, is it fair to say religion is causing the wars? No, it's people causing the wars. I was just saying this the other day. Like I'm slowly becoming convinced that we will see some type of religious war happen on American soil in my lifetime. No, religion is not causing the wars. People are. Yeah, good question. Mama Albert, good question. When are you going live again, Jared? Going live tomorrow. What time? What time are you going live? Couldn't put the time in there? There you go. Jared will be live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. Sweet. Count me in. I will be there. I will be there harassing you in your comment section. There was one more comment I just seen that I wanted to get to. Where did it go? Here we go. Gritsnitch. Exactly. Israel has variety in political parties just like we do. That nutcase cabinet members called to wipe out Lebanon was like our neocons. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Trump's not stupid. He's going to wait till we win midterms. Then he's going to go ham because 2 years left. I don't think so. You could be right. You could be, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't think so. I don't think Trump, I just don't think so. Trump doesn't like war. Trump's all about the art of the deal. Trump wants to make deals. Trump doesn't want to kill people. Trump doesn't want to, I just don't think that's his thing. So no, it wouldn't surprise me at all if this is done. They get a deal done and they're just done. Oh, he's more than a lame duck. If we lose midterms, he's out. They're going to impeach him for sure. Ninja, I agree. These groups are following the same playbook. We have to push back despite being called Islamophobic because that's BS. That's going to be the new anti-Semitic, is going to be Islamophobic. You are going to start hearing that more and more. And I won't be surprised if we start seeing some silly Islamophobic laws being passed or trying to be passed. Not a fan of anti-Semitic laws either. I don't like anything that limits criticism or I don't believe there's a such thing as hate speech. No. I don't like any of those laws. And I really think we're going to start seeing some Islamophobic laws being passed. So, Ben hit me up about this. He was like, "Hey, have you listened to any of the Myron and Nick debate?" And I was like, "No." And I don't think I'm going to. Like, I'm so Israel fatigued. Like, I don't want to hear about it anymore. So I guess I will end up listening to it a little bit if you're going to go over it, which is fine. You can comment on it and go through the pain of that while I laugh at you in the comments. I just don't, there's no way that was a good debate. Like, you know what I mean? I don't dislike Myron. I disagree with a lot of the stuff that he says, but I don't dislike him. But there's no way that he did a very good job. And I'm assuming it was mostly about Israel, right? There's no way that that was a good debate. No, I want to sit in the comments and watch you go through it. There's no way that's a good debate. That had to have just been a complete lopsided, one-sided massacre. And I don't even necessarily agree with Nick on a bunch of stuff. But I also know there's nobody that's going to be able to in debate. It's just not going to happen. He's going to wipe the floor with you. Oh, so you did watch it already? It was a threat. Yeah, there was no way that was not going to be. Like Myron's cool if he's debating like college kids or tards that come up and want to talk about trans stuff or whatever. Like he can wipe them off no problem, right? But like debate people, nah. Myron ain't got it like that. Myron was backtracking like a convict running from a bloodhound. I did see that like he ended up blocking Nick like right after that or something on X, just straight blocked him. Like, bro, Myron, you can't just go block some. I don't like blocking people, and I don't like being blocked at all because it always happens like some asshole come in, right? And I'll just be, trying to basically get them in a gotcha to be like, listen, I'm stupid and you're really stupid. I'm trying to help you see how stupid you are. So I get them to the point to where they're obviously caught in stupid. And then they just say some mean shit and then block you so you can't say nothing back. Drives me nuts. I hate it. So I don't like it when it happens to me, and I don't like other people when they do that. So that was kind of a bummer that Myron blocked him. Like, bro, just take your L. It's all good. Audrey Unfiltered. I can't stand Myron. It's just everybody's so tied up in the Israel stuff right now. Like it's all anybody wants to talk about. I don't get it. Because Myron has a lot of good points on other topics, other subjects. So I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. Crap. Maybe I should listen to it. Because I don't know if Myron is so much of I don't know if I would classify Myron Gaines as a grifter. I think he probably believes a lot of what he says. Yeah, I believe so. I believe, maybe I'm wrong. I could have swore I seen Nick make a post on X that Myron blocked him. Maybe it was on TikTok that he blocked him, but I think it was X. I'm pretty sure that's what I read. But I could be wrong. There's like a 10% chance that I'm wrong. I have Israel fatigue, but it isn't going away, so I might as well listen to good arguments about it. Were they good arguments about it though? I feel like with Myron, you wouldn't even need like crazy strong arguments. I feel like you would just need some like really baseline facts. That's another thing. I don't know what's true, what's not true, whose reporting is correct, who's accurate, who's inaccurate. You know what I mean? So I don't want to end up falling into one of those. It's all a psyop, guys. Everything's all a psyop. But if one thing is a psyop, how do they know that the other thing isn't a psyop? You know what I mean? These Israel people, like, oh, it's all a psyop to control you. Okay, well, how do you know that's not a psyop? We're in negotiations about the MOU. I think too many people are freaking out too soon. I can see how it can work. The trick is enforcement. Don't know. I guess we'll see. I definitely agree with you that too many people are freaking out too soon. Just all kinds of knee-jerk reactions. Remember, like this was going to be the forever war. This is our new forever war. It's like the shortest forever war in the history of war. Islam is a government party disguised as religion to gain foothold and install their ways of living on all others with extreme prejudice. No lies detected. No lies detected. They would not be able to gain power in the Republican Party. They know that. Even though they are an incredibly conservative people. Like that wasn't a giant red flag for Democrats. Like, wait a minute. Why are these super conservative religious people running as Democrats? What are they doing in the Democrat Party? Oh, because we're stupid enough to give them power. Duh. Like, it's like, I just thinking about it now is shocking how stupid they are. Like, one of the most conservative cultures on the planet, even in one of the most kind of westernized areas, would be Dubai, right? That would be one of probably the most westernized type of area that you would get in that culture. Even there, like, nah, if you're gay, you better be hiding that. And public display of affection? Nope, don't be doing that here. Cover yourself. Cover yourself. Like, that's who you just let into your secular free-for-all party of no religion and we want human rights for everybody. And it's unbelievable how stupid at least half this country is. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, Cindy. I was only planning on doing like an hour. I was like, you know what? It's been a minute. I'm just going to hop on, do like an hour long, talk some stuff, complain about being, black pilled. Like, we're screwed. This isn't good. What are we doing? And yeah, time just keeps going. But on for 2 hours, I was just wasting my time watching Outlanders. Oh, the star people are most like us in that region. When you say most like us, what do you mean though? I rule 2530. Like, I'm not okay with I'm not a big fan of LGBTQ, right? Like, I wouldn't endorse it, I wouldn't promote it. But at the same time, like, I am sort of still of the belief of you're an adult, you can do what you want to do, but we don't need a month. We don't need parades. Like, just be a normal person, and whatever your sexual preference is, just do what everybody else does and keep it to yourself. Relax a little bit. We don't need all that. We just don't need it. It's not necessary. Sharia law is the best argument for removing them from the U.S. They aren't a religion. They are an ideology with an embedded political system that is antithetical to the U.S. This is why you guys should watch Jared. He just has a better way of putting things than I do. Some things. I think it's definitely some things I think him and we would probably disagree on pretty big time, but for the most part, he's just better at using words. Just way better at it. Duke Tomlinson, I am enjoying the content coming from the World Cup. I am not interested in the actual games themselves, no. But the content I am enjoying. I did see Jay Witt. He put a video out like showing clips and stuff of them talking about people from other countries coming over and be like, holy crap, America's awesome. Like, I don't even know what he's at now, but when I watched it, I think he had like 20-some thousand views. I was like, yeah, go Jay Witt. But I'm enjoying the content coming from it. Like, people eating American food and just being like, holy, this tastes so good. LOL, come on tomorrow and list it. All right. If you send me the link tomorrow, I'll come on. We'll see what we can argue about. I'm going to lose, but I'll try. I will try my best. And I'm definitely going to piss people off. I really suck at making friends, guys. I'm not good at it at all. I have upset so many people that tune into me. I have a talent for it, apparently. Really, really, really good at it. I can go anywhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the content creator. It doesn't matter the topic. I can find somebody to argue with and make them angry at me. I'm so good at it. Audrey, I don't know what's going on in the chat, but have at it. Everybody has a week from time to time. U.S. tonight against Turkey at 9. Is U.S. any good? Haven't we always kind of sucked at the football? I'm not never been much of a soccer guy. It's not violent enough for me. I like violent sports. Soccer is like, it's like hockey on grass. It's weird. And you use your foot instead of a stick. Lori Matthews, same. Seems I really upset the woke crowd. I have a tendency to upset people that like are tribal, that are very tribal. Cause I'm not tribal. Like I know exactly what I don't want. But as far as anything else, like I'm not tribal. And a lot of people are tribal. Lori, hold on. This is a good one. This is a good one. Sometimes I can't distinguish when you're being sarcastic or if you are believing what you are saying. I would say just 50-50 it. It's really the best way to go about it. All right. Sounds good. 50-50 it. I either do or I don't believe what I'm saying. No, I think most of the time if I'm being sarcastic, I'll kind of smirk about it a little bit, or I feel like I have facial tells when I'm not being completely serious. I rule 25-30. So you're not really a big fan of soccer, but the games have been great because of the fans. Yeah, the fans are nuts. Soccer fans have always been crazy. You have to be half crazy to be a soccer fan. So it makes sense if you think about it. Audrey, calling it a night. Have a good one, Audrey. Thanks for stopping by. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it. So Jared will be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, and it sounds like he's going to send me a link, and maybe we'll get to argue a little bit. So be sure to stop by and check out Jared's channel tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. Hopefully this wasn't too much of a depressing one at the beginning. I'm really not happy with what I'm seeing on the internet. I really don't like how stupid people appear to be. It's kind of scary. It's actually starting to scare me a little bit. So I figured I should just, I don't know, complain about it and call some attention to it. Continue Freedom is the name of Jared's channel. Continue Freedom. If Ben were here, I'm sure he's over on Gary's channel right now, but if Ben were here, I would say post a link, but he's not. And I don't know. I'm just not going to do that. It's Continue Freedom, guys. Check it out tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern. Have a great evening.